All right, here we are in Israel, and we're talking about today emotional eating. You can introduce yourself.
My name is Shira. I'm in the second retreat here in Israel with Eliton, and it's amazing.
Awesome. And introduce yourself.
I'm Yuval. I'm having fun. It's a beautiful day, and I'm an emotional eater.
Oh, yeah.
All of us.
And the thing about it, that's something we really got to talk about because, especially being on the pranic path or everybody out in the world, they are eating out of boredom and emotions. And when you find that out when you go on a pranic journey, what makes it bad is a lot of people start feeling guilty behind it. You go eating something, you feeling guilty, you're beating up on yourself, and all this other stuff taking place. So let's see, can we do something to talk about it more and resolve it? And you had something good on your mind.
I realized that when I go into that, I can say it mostly happens at the evening time after sunset.
In the evening time after sunset.
And usually it comes with me being tired. I feel tired, I feel that I'm not energized, then I said, okay, I'm just going to drink something. Something little, I'm going to make myself something I like, it will be nice. And then it's like them being open, then I cannot stop it, there's something more, and then something more, and then and then I have the talk in my mind, I say, okay, just enjoy it, just you're in it, and then I find out after, I don't know, 1 hour, 2 hours, that that's what I did for the last period
But
of
what
time.
is the emotion that triggered?
So being tired is one big thing. I don't know what.
Tired, evening time, you enjoyed your day.
But this is not emotion. This is.
It is.
It's emotion.
I think that there is emotion behind, like under it somewhere. I don't know how to call it. You ask what is emotion.
Well, I'm asking y'all what your definition of it is, because if we don't have a clear definition, people say, how do I deal with my emotions? And I'm looking at them, well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What is emotions?
I guess when I get tired, I get very, very frustrated. I get irritated.
There we go. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah. The frustrating. This is the frustration. This is the feeling. This is the emotion.
And the fact that I cannot relax, that I cannot sit down and just read a book. That I'm not. I feel like I'm not connected. I'm someplace.
So food gives you that connection.
So food
Or
brings
you
me
resist
down
to your tired.
in a way.
You resist to your tired. That's why.
I
This is
resist to being tired, but then if I lie down, it will not solve the problem. Then I will get up and I will
Because
go
you still
into
resist for being tired.
eating.
And when you surrender to your tired,
It's not working for me.
yeah.
No, I'm really I'm in this research, but I wonder.
More about it. Now, what is your take on it?
My solution is to surrender to the tired.
That's
there is
very,
something.
very easy to say.
No, I know. No, just
Hey there.
try to dig with yourself.
Wonderful. We're talking
Where
about
does it
emotional
come
eating.
The tired just triggered.
I'm in the theta healing research for such a long time.
But still, but still, I'm also more than you. Believe me, I'm 12 years in the Theta Healing. It doesn't matter. You never solved everything, and every day found something. But you should look for the reason why we resist to tiredness. What is tiredness for you?
Well, this is what's happening. Now, I got to bring up the terminologies of what's taking place. There's a saying that says, desire leads to craving. Craving leads to pain and suffering.
אוי אוי, בדיוק באתי לשבת שם.
Craving leads to?
Pain and suffering. Now, let's look at this. It's sort of like you got this apple pie on your mind. Man, I want an apple pie. Chocolate pie. A lot of people like chocolate, so we can relate to that.
Apple chocolate together, that's good.
Apple chocolate, here we go. With swirl on top of it, with a cherry. All right.
Cheese.
Some ice cream.
It's some ice cream, so here we go. So it's on your mind. That's the desire.
Yeah.
And not only it's a thought, it actually triggers chemical reactions off in the body. The more that desire stays on your mind, you feel the reward center in the brain, the dopamine going off. Now, if you would have never ate a pie like that before, none of those ingredients, it wouldn't bother. But since you already opened up that door, and the program has gotten into you, that experience. Your body is basically saying, we can have that experience sort of like getting high, like a drug dealer all over again, a drug. And that's what it is, a drug.
Satisfaction. Satisfaction.
Satisfaction. Absolutely, if we use that word. Because a drug is anything that alters the body or the mind. Anything.
Anything?
Anything. A drug is anything that alters the body or the mind.
It alters, you mean the change?
To change it. So that's why you got different therapies like beach therapy, water therapy. You could drink tea, that's a drug. Because if it alters your thinking, that's a drug. So there's teas that can heal you, make you feel better. Or there's drugs that can make you high and make you feel soothed. A painting can make you feel. See, we're creatures of stimuli.
So everything.
Everything. We're constantly being stimulated. But now you got to pick and choose in life. What do you want to stimulate you?
Yeah.
There's some things that can stimulate you. It can be good, but if you overdo it, the desire leads to craving. You'll crave more, looking for that first feeling again, just like a drug addict. But the first high don't ever come back again once you open up that door. So then it leads to pain and suffering. You're feeling guilty, aches, pains. You overdid it. And that's why people start emotional eating and you get overweight. It causes sickness, illness, and disease. And you seem like you can't stop it. It seems like something's wrong with you, but you're not understanding what's taking place.
But how can you break this cycle?
Yeah.
Guilty, you know? If drugs with eating, they start, when I eat, it starts the cycling of guilty.
Right. Now there's a word that a lot of people don't admit to. All of us are creatures of pleasure.
Yeah.
That's all you look for is pleasure. The way you sit like that now, I think I said that before. Even though you didn't think about it, you're sitting like that because that was the most pleasurable, comfortable position your body felt you should be into.
Yeah.
Just like me, I'm sitting here like this. So everything in this realm that we live in, we are creatures of pleasure.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that pie again. You got it on your mind. The desire's there. Nothing's wrong with that. You're creatures of pleasure. So you get that pie. Now the first bite you taste, the desire is fulfilled.
Yeah.
It feels good. Second bite, the desire's going down even more. This is good. Third bite, you ate the pie. The desire's complete.
But still we keep on.
But for some reason,
this is the point that
I
want to
like
quit.
that feeling. I liked how that tastes. Let me go get another one. So now the craving got activated.
Yeah.
And this is where the discipline needed to come in at.
How do you define craving?
And the craving is that feeling that you want more, you need it.
Yeah.
You actually did need it.
When you don't.
It is not essential.
When
See, there's an essential needs that we have. That's what we need. And then there's those extras.
Yeah.
And you're taking that extra like it's an essential. My day's not going to be complete until I get that extra.
No, because like what you said before, I want to feel again the first bite.
Right.
The first satisfaction.
I want to feel that first satisfaction.
And it never.
And also,
same.
if I don't, if I have this hole in my soul that, and also if I have a hole in my soul that is not fulfilled, so I try to fulfill it with the cake and not.
I'm glad you brought that up. Now she's talking about this hole that needs to be fulfilled. Everybody has that. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
We all deal with it.
Yeah.
So how do you develop the self-discipline in this?
Well, there's a thing called temperance. And temperance is basically self-restraint, especially in eating and drinking.
What is it?
Temperance is the word.
Yeah.
No. Self-restraint.
Discipline.
Discipline. Yeah,
but how do you...
And you need that being on the...
You develop it.
You develop it.
Meditation is the foundation.
It's the foundation.
Yeah, you put.
But it has to be developed. Absolutely.
In how?
And how you develop it. In other words, when you get that piece of pie, enjoy that piece of pie and make that the day. You understand? You don't need two pieces where it becomes pain and suffering.
Awareness.
So you develop yourself with that. You start getting you a schedule. See, we humans are unique than other animals because you can make a plan for yourself. It seems tough in the beginning, but when you stick with it over a period of time, that new plan that you're on will have great benefits.
The first step is intention.
Intention.
You put intention that I want to gain restraint.
Right. Now, when you make this plan, this is where a lot of people making mistakes. Let's don't use that word diet. That's a really harsh word. Let's use window of consumption. So they got this food they really like ice cream. You want to change your diet. I don't want to eat chocolate ice cream no more. So they act like they're going to cut that out so they could go into this new diet change of fruits and vegetables. But you're not going to eat fruits and vegetables every day. You're not a rabbit. No, not. Serious. You're not going to. So what you do is you go into a new window of consumption slowly. You add in more things, but now this is where you do your discipline. Tell your body and communicate with yourself, we'll eat ice cream on the weekend. Your body will start looking forward to that. This is how you have to start regulating yourself with some type of self-discipline and some type of restraint so you can live a better overall life. The essentials must come first. And the extras, like we said, put them in their place. Those are extras. See, when you look at this need to be said. A lot of people is emotional eating. When they start coming into prana, living on prana food freedom, they find out, man, I'm eating because of emotions. It pops up. Boredom is one of them. Emptiness. And boredom.
What are you doing with the
emptiness
and boredom?
Emptiness. It's much more strong feeling.
Oh, much more strong
because
feeling.
boredom I can go and activate, do something. With emptiness,
Nothing
even when
is
I'm
fulfilled.
acting, it's still there,
It's kind of the same, ain't it?
What?
Because you could be doing something, activating it, but be bored doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, this is actually, now y'all saying what to do with it. Actually, that's a natural human quality. The emptiness and the boredom, that's natural. Everybody gets bored. I don't care how energetic they seem they are, everybody has emptiness.
So to let it be and just...
Those are time periods that will come, and those are time periods you can use for self-reflection. See where you at. This is why, again, meditation gets so good. Contemplation.
Yeah.
To see what already took place and where you need to go. See where you're at, to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
These are time periods that's geared in the human being to take advantage of that quality, instead of saying when that comes up, that feeling, something's wrong. Dante, where's the cake?
Yeah.
Where's the ice cream? And here you go. And instead of truly contemplating on yourself and taking advantage of it, you have dumbed yourself down again, and you're going to keep going over that cycle. Now you think something's wrong with you. You're feeling guilty. You're feeling bad. And pretty soon that habit is going to catch up with you when you're going to have physical ailments.
But with me, when I feel this emptiness, I feel that I can't be with it, and I can't sit down and contemplate because it's too, I feel it's like vacuumy.
So try. I do it when I have this feeling. So I don't go and meditate because it's very difficult. But I just watch it. I observe this feeling. No, just let it.
I usually film with no cutting.
Now I'm empty. I just watch it. Connect with it.
I feel like I can't be with it. I have to do something to run away from home, to...
That's Vipassana.
What?
That's what Osho says. That's Vipassana.
And nobody's arguing. It's not easy. But one thing about the pranic retreats, like I put out, you're eating your way to food freedom. Now, that's a good concept. Whole different ballgame. You're eating yourself to food freedom. The old way was, if I go to this pranic retreat, I'm going to come out never eating again. Because they're going to make me into a pranic person. But that's not reality. You got these qualities in you of emptiness, of boredom that you're still going to have with you. A pranic retreat is not going to take that from you. It's not going to take away the foods that you develop that you still love, that's still in your mind. Now, of course, we out here in a nice, comfortable atmosphere, certain vibration, certain people that's all doing the same thing. We're meditating together. But going home and you got to meditate for yourself. You got your schedules. That's a whole nother ball game. Stress pops up. A lot of us eat off of stress.
For sure.
For sure. That'll make you feel comfortable. Now, it's just like alcoholic. You drink your problems away, but the problem's still going to be there. So we go into the food, well, I feel so much better at least for this moment. But the situation is still going to be there. So it's tough when we're dealing with this, and this is a whole nother avenue, but at least we're sitting down talking about it. That's step number one. We realize that everybody has this going on with them. It just ain't you. And for number three, we can do something about it. Right. And this is what it's about. And I even dealt with it. I've been on the pranic path 19 years, so this is why I could teach better at it. I went through it a lot. Sort of like in my first testimony when I said the first 3 days went easy. And then my sister brought that box of chocolates there, and I woke up the next day, all those chocolates. And I had to admit to myself, now I was already vegan, so I quit eating chocolates that was made out of milk and stuff like that. All right. But that made me admit to myself, you still love those tasted chocolates. Don't act like you don't. You know, a lot of people get into the vegan community and act like meat tastes so nasty and it smells so nasty, and like everybody all of a sudden, you better not say you still like it. Right.
How can you not beat yourself that you did it?
But if somebody was, like somebody said a quote, if meat tasted nasty, everybody would already be a vegan. You understand? Yeah. So therefore, you're just applying self-restraint and discipline, realizing that you can make different choices than harming something else. That's what it boils down to at the end of the day.
Because you don't fall for the beating yourself. You
know? Right.
If I woke up in the morning after eating chocolate, I start beating myself and eat more and more, you know. Like
well, I got news for you. I did.
You didn't do it.
Yeah, I did. I beat up on myself after that.
Really?
That's why I learned about it. Next day I was like, oh, I felt the pranic journey. All this chocolate all over me. Oh, man, I'm a loser. I'm a failure. And then I went and got this book where it said, it had a page in it that said, just love yourself. Just be easy on yourself. So
you did it?
Yeah. This is why I know. Everybody got it in them. So that's why this is so good for us to teach the food freedom or the pranic path. Is a holistic lifestyle. It's something you grow into. It is user-friendly for everybody.
Gradually.
Huh?
Gradually.
Gradually. Everybody. So we can get out of that, somebody's just superhuman, doing superhuman powers. No, we're working with energy. We all live in this energy. It's just some people work with it more than others with this skill and more better at it with others. All right, I'm good at it right now. 19 years in the game.
You're very good.
Right, very good at it. Absolutely. So therefore, all you got to do is just keep working with yourself slowly, but now you have identified what these situations is. Now, of course, you're going to be back in that situation again this evening again. I'm tired.
No, what happened last night, I think that things came up during the meditation was because I didn't have what I needed, like I didn't have my drug, and then I was able to let things come up and observe it and be there.
That was a good situation last night. We did our last little meditation study, and then I told everybody, okay, we'll meet again in the morning. And she basically was like, what? You're leaving me here all alone with myself? I don't know what to do. What's going to happen? So, of course, I went and sat back, and it wasn't long before everybody got together and found something to do. And you weren't even thinking about food or being alone or meditation.
Yeah, but I'm speaking about during the meditation that I have everything coming up.
Oh, everything, that happens.
Like that kind of panic attack and what am I going to do? I'm feeling very lonely all of a sudden.
She could handle it, but people not always can handle it by themselves.
Oh, exactly.
So how?
Actually, and this is why you do got to reach out for help. Yeah. If you're in certain situations, you got to reach out for help. Or if you see somebody who needs help, reach out to them.
Yeah.
There's no man's an island. We're one entity. And we as humanity got to realize that.
Let me ask you, what do you do in the situation, what you used to do?
Yeah.
Now you're not there. When you're beating yourself, when you felt that you failed, and you start, Burning the lab.
what I had to...
yourself and do it worse and worse and worse. You know?
Well, that's a program. Remember we talked about the programming?
Yes.
So the programming I have to give myself,
Yeah.
if I'm going to eat, it's because I really love to do it. You understand? But I'm going to target, if I'm going to eat a good meal, I'm going to eat a good meal, not just to eat. You just don't eat a sandwich because it's there. If that's not what I wanted, what I got a taste for, I like this. So, of course, I give my testimony about my favorite foods was those Frito corn chips and avocados. So I'm clear. I'm going to have that experience because that's all you're having. But eating everything else, now, if you're doing all of that, you still ain't got no restraint, something else is going on, and you need other type of help. You understand? That will help you on this. But on these levels right here, get the food you really want. But then, as I'm enjoying the avocados and stuff like this, it was clear in my mind, okay, first I'll probably get 5 avocados. This is my stuff for the day. For me, that was a lot. But I enjoyed myself with it. Pretty soon it went down to 3 on its own. And then sometimes it went to 5. But I'm enjoying my food and there's no beating up on myself. There's many other foods. Now, if you just eating up everything else, there's other issues going on. So, it wasn't long, but keep in mind, I kept the meditation going. Yeah. Meditation is valuable. Because like you said, a meditation last night when those old emotional thoughts started coming up. That's what it's designed for. To bring that stuff up that we hiding away in ourselves. See, a lot of people eating because of past traumas. You don't want to look at it. You don't want to see it. So you cover it up. See, every time, look, and it's not just being a meditation, being alone with yourself, those things that come up. So people are emotional eating, they're eating to put down past traumas and all of this stuff. So in other words, you're on a path of healing. Everybody's on a path of self-healing. We might as well get out of that word of we're on a path of self-realization, human potential. You know, we like to say the good parts. No, everybody's on the path of healing. And you're constantly going to be healing. And the more you heal yourself, the more light comes into the body. That's the pranic path. Does this make sense? Yeah. And this development of this discipline on yourself. It don't have to be rigid or hard. Award yourself along the way too. You understand? That's what makes it good. You want this path to be as fun as possible. So if you got a window of consumption dealing with food, have that day where you award yourself on those other foods you used to love until it play itself out and then go back on your schedule. Award yourself. Because we're creatures of pleasure now. If you try to suppress something, eventually it's going to come back up. Now, over a period of time, because health, you can't beat health. You can't beat it compared to being unhealthy. So that will be the new desire over a period of time. That pretty soon those other things that you used to mess with, that's not the feeling you want no more. You want this other new feeling. But again, stick on the path, and you'd be surprised how fast you will grow dealing on this path. And see, like, man, that'll take years. No, it won't. Your body's like a rubber band. When it goes back to the source, all you got to do is submit and go with the ride. So again, you just got to make a plan for yourself. And that's what I did over my journey, was I made some really legitimate plans. And those things, when I wanted to go play and wanted to go let loose, I wanted to. Stop acting like you didn't. You're a creature of pleasure. And have fun. And after it's over, was it good? Yep.
Yeah.
Until next time. Right.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Yeah.
And set your course. That's how you do it. But that rigid stuff, it doesn't work. It hasn't worked since. And it's still not working because that's not in our character.
Makes it worse.
It makes it worse. Y'all helped so many with this, bringing up this topic.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
And again, I hope everybody got something out of this. Anytime Elamine, here in Israel, at the Pranic Retreat. And y'all can say bye.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.